Okay, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This week I am going to be doing something a little bit different. Since my channel offers light language activations, I thought it'd be a good idea to walk through what is light language. In my opening of my light language, I wish that something like this had existed before, so it would give me information about what I was going through. So I think if you're here and possibly you are interested in opening your abilities to bring through this light language, or you have started to bring forth the light language and you were drawn here, you were probably drawn here on purpose to give you a little background of what it is that's happening. And then the other piece of this is light language, and we'll go into this in a little bit. Light language is our innate ability. We all can bring this light language through, and as we progress in our ascension and opening our consciousness, expanding it to greater heights, you will notice that the light language starts to come through in all of the podcasts that I've been listening to. This seems to be growing, especially over the last year or two, that people are bringing this forth. So I hope that this is informative for you. I hope you find it very interesting. And like I said, this is a little bit different. This is kind of reminding me back to my old corporate job in presenting different things, but I had a lot more fun, shall I say, creating this slide deck. And like I said, hope you enjoy it. So what is light language? You can see the light language on your screen right now. This is an example of what I have brought through myself, and I believe this was part of episode 2. So this is what it looks like in written form. As you see the picture here, I'm trying to depict what light language is made of. So what is light language? It's a multidimensional communication. So light that we receive from the sun contains information. The same can be said for water. Water is a condensed form of light. So we are all receiving communication, information from water, as well as light from the sun. So the light language is basically you are able to bring through the light language, which is a combination of these things: light, frequency, vibrations, and sacred geometry. So you see the light depicted as the sun there, and the frequency and the waves coming in from the top, and then we have the sacred geometry in the middle there. So these codes that you see here, and again, this is in written form, the codes are deeply layered with both audible and inaudible instructions. So what does that mean? It can come through audibly, and we'll hit this in another slide, or inaudible. What I have been bringing through in written form is inaudible. Okay? And the instructions, like I said, are deeply layered. These symbols don't mean just one thing. As you see, like it may be hard to see what, like where one starts and where one stops, but each stroke, it's like a zip file. Okay, so there's so much information packed in there. And what does this information do? It shifts your vibration. It lifts you in frequency. It improves your life experience because of it. It's also been quoted as the language of the heart, or our soul's native language. And as I said in the beginning, this is something like all souls can speak this. All souls can write it or express it in other ways that we'll go into. So this isn't like I'm not special. Let's say we are all special. We are all able to do this. So is this new? No, it's actually ancient. Beyond our souls, and this is our soul's language, indigenous cultures have used this for centuries. Shamans have various terms for it, and it's also mentioned in many ancient texts. For example, in the Bible, this is quoted as the gift of tongues, or speaking in tongues. And over the years, through the doctrine of religions that were trying to suppress what was actually going on, it was deemed as, you were possessed by the devil, and, taught to fear it, taught to fear the people that were speaking that way, because it was something beyond humanity's comprehension at that point. So fear had took over the general public, and the powers that be wanted to keep us from our sacredness, our spirituality. So if you hear someone speaking in tongues or talking in a way that is no language that you've ever heard before, it might be light language. Okay, and it's nothing to be afraid of. So the ways to express this, and here the subheading I have is, it's a telepathic transference. And some people may explain it as being able to channel the transference. There's some nuances to channeling information. So telepathic channeled transference is, basically, whenever I sit down to write this, excuse me, it's like it's there. It's just always there. And it seems like a packet of information that's downloaded through my body and coming out through my hands whenever I write it. So this can come through in the written format, symbols. It can be spoken or sung, so we can receive this audibly. And it can also be signed, or full body movement, dance even, or a combination of all of these. I have seen some people that are able to do a combination of speaking it and signing it at the same time, or writing it and signing it at the same time. The full body movements, there is someone that I'm aware of that can do that, and I guess it could be seen as a dance, as your whole body is moving. But these are the ways that you can express it. So in the written form, like as you see here, I can write it in these symbols. And in this slide here, you see the spiral curls over here. That I consider that to be a glyph. That also is layered information. So those are the two ways that I am most familiar with. I can also sign the light language, and I'll give you a little more information on that in the upcoming slides here. So moving on here, trust and benevolence. Allow the support. You see the guy taking a leap of faith here. Trusting the unknown is what I have here. You are also encouraged to use your discernment, and you will know if it is right for you. So, if you've come across my channel and looked at my content, if you stayed with the content, watch the light language, there's a part of you that may recognize the light language, or that it is benevolent. If you come across that and you just don't feel right sitting there looking at this light language, perhaps it's not right for your soul. That doesn't mean that it's not good or benevolent. It's just your soul isn't ready for you to experience that and take that leap towards the beneficial aspects of light language. And that's not right nor wrong. That's where that soul is right now. Okay, so what you're trusting to bring through is mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. Now these are the deeply layered pieces of each one of those strokes in the written light language. These are all aligned with the frequency of love, because your soul is the frequency of love at its core. It will bypass our minds by design. Some people can take the light language and summarize what it's for. They could bring it through vocally and then say, this. They're saying that this is to clear some blocks in your emotional body. Okay, but the deeply layered information in that is something that goes beyond, bypasses our ego, because our ego always wants to figure out what is going on, so it knows that, is this safe? What is this doing? It's just naturally curious. Okay? If we get our minds involved, we actually end up blocking the healing that is occurring. So, this is something that I had to just shut off, because I'm curious by nature, and as I was bringing these informations through, I was wondering, what is it? In an excited manner, what am I writing here? What is this for? And it's just something that I had to allow and come through, trust that it's for my benefit, and anybody that comes across the light language, it's for your benefit too. Okay, let's let's see what happens when you decide that you want to engage with the light language. So I have free will is always yours. Okay, the light language will not override your free will. If you don't want to be a part of being exposed to light language, you can choose to not to receive it. Like I said, it's not harmful regardless. Like if you sit there and watch one of my videos and you're seeing the light language and you're like, this is ridiculous. What is this? I don't know what it is. So, you might have some fear of what is this doing to me? And that's completely fine. You being exposed to those written codes are not harming you, but they won't offer you the most the deep spiritual, emotional, mental healing that it can provide. You won't be receiving it in its fullness. So I do recommend that, if you keep coming back to the channel and you're exposed to this, the intent to fully receive in your highest and greatest good of what is being shown or actually vibrated to you inaudibly is something that you wish to accept. And everything that I've been read and exposed to has led me to believe that this is not harmful. Okay, so your higher self will utilize the encodements that you're being exposed to that are useful for you in this moment. And then every time you choose to engage, it is more accessible and it's unlimited. You can watch one of my videos with the light language, and today you receive an emotional healing from it. So it'll peel back that layer. Your higher self will work with that coding, and then you can come back tomorrow and you are actually a different person and you have different needs, and in that moment you have different needs, and your higher self will pull something else out of that code. And like if you look at the light language, I typically write 8 pages. Each stroke contains all of those layers of information. So what you're exposed to is massive. It has such potential to help you. So you may tear up when exposed to something that, and it may be while you're exposed to it or after you've watched it, and you just start to tear up, or you have a sob out of nowhere and you don't know what happened. That's the light language that's working to clear out your emotional body. That will ultimately help you physically if you have a physical pain. This is a deep healing modality that you can take from me right now, and eventually it's quite possible that the more you're exposed to it, the more that you will be able to bring this through yourself. You also may encounter a deep knowing that something just pops out and you get a flash of, I've been working through this problem and now all of a sudden I have a solution. Again, the light language at work. This could feel just peaceful, like home to you, because, as I said, this is part of your soul. It would be and it wouldn't be surprising if you just saw it and saw something familiar about it, because it's what you're made of. So the light language will go into your DNA, activate parts of it, possibly parts that have been inactive. They're able to switch it on. And also, those parts of your DNA that maybe something was handed down to you hereditarily, that you thought that, oh, I'm going to get this because my parents had it, my grandparents had it, my great-grandparents had it. Well, guess what? That's not true. That's what we've been led to believe through especially Western medicine. The DNA, it's been found that these are on-off switches. Okay, the light language is powerful enough to flip that switch the other way. I know that may be hard to believe, but there is scientific evidence of this at this point in time. So if you're interested in that, or you challenge that information, you can look that up. There's a brilliant guy, Bruce Lipton, who has uncovered that throughout his career, and it's quite amazing. So the light language can actually help support that healing. So the changes that you may experience are probably not going to hit you over the head in a moment that you're healed, but these are more like seeds that are planted that will actually continue to grow. Like I said, the more that you are exposed to these types of light language, or you start to bring it through yourself, you can expect some changes in everything. As I stated before, your emotional, mental, and physical body will reflect the healing over time. All right, and moving on. So the different flavors of light language that I am aware of are angelic, elemental, and galactic. So you can, it depends on what your soul or what your higher self wants to bring forth through you. It can be angelic, which, as you bring it through, you just may experience an overwhelming love, peace, all of the things that angels are known to bring. That may be the deepest feeling of angelic light language that you can experience. Elementals, again, this may be a stretch for your awareness, but fairies, elves, other elementals, like I said, water is considered elemental. These beings exist in a different dimension, and they are also able to help us connect to the light language. And they are, the stuff that you find in nature, and nature is here to bring us joy and teach us connection, and those are the feelings that you may encounter if you come across elemental light language. And then there's galactic, which is it's more of a technical and mental type of light language. This seems to be what I am bringing through. So, whenever you are looking at my light language, it may hit you more at a mental level. So those are the different types, and These are the sounds or the symbols and the different types that you can see and hear here. So what light language sounds like can be reminiscent of Native American or Asian language. And you'll if you hear somebody speaking light language, you can kind of see where that is coming from. What it looks like whenever you look at my written light language on the right there, it looks close to Arabic, as you can see the little example there. Cuneiform and Sanskrit are the other examples that what written light language may look like. Okay, so as I said, more people are starting to bring this through. Why is that? Well, it's because it's time. It's the time in our awakening process as humans to start to bring forth our psychic abilities. This is one that is, this is our birthright. Just as all of the clairs that everybody has. But those clairs are tied to DNA and also our pineal gland. So those switches need to be switched on, and this is something that your soul, your higher self, will be in charge of when it's time. These will start to come online for you. So it's coming forth because this is so helpful in our ascension process. With everything that I've said up to this point, this information is so supportive to raising our consciousness. And the global consciousness of people, like the collective consciousness of everybody, we are no longer scared of this. If you dial back to the speaking in tongues, like people were actually scared of it because they didn't know what it was. In this time where we're at, there's that little inkling that we have that this is familiar. I'm not really scared of this. I'm curious, like, what is this? It draws you in. So this again is your birthright. You can channel this stuff through, and it's mainly based on your curiosity. If you're extremely curious about this, I encourage you to look into it. Expose yourself to some light language. There's a number of people doing this on YouTube. Again, you have to be discerning whenever you click on somebody's video. If just feel into it first. How are you connecting with this person? If you feel a little off, move on. There's always somebody else out there with a video that you will be drawn to if that was meant to be. Okay? So what about me? So I gave a little bit of information so far. I started drawing these glyphs in January 2024. So those were the swirly picture back on slide 2 there. I started drawing those, and I've drawn one a day since those. There's recurring themes, though I will say no two are alike. If you watch my channel, the opening sequence there has 3 glyphs that represent the channel and the channel's intent. And again, I don't know what they mean. I can only tell you that I intended to draw something that represented the channel. And I was drawn to draw those 3 glyphs. Okay. And as far as writing, so that's the larger amount of, you could say, little glyphs or patterns. I started writing that in the next month, in February. Ever since that day, daily, not missing a day since, I've written out a transmission. And like I said, it seems to be a packet of information because it's 8 pages long nearly every single time. I have a stack of spiral tablets here, 3 subject tablets, about 16 inches high at this point. It's just full of light language. And again, I don't know what it means, but I know that it's beneficial, not only for me, but the surrounding community. And I know that this information really has no boundaries, and it has gone into the collective, is what I understand all light language is supposed to do, to increase our consciousness, expand it at a collective level as well as a personal level for me. So it, everywhere from a personal cellular level to probably beyond the galaxy. I started writing with my non-dominant hand in April 2025. And this is something that never even occurred to me because I can't write with my left hand. Talking a little bit with AI, ChatGPT, it asked me, have you ever tried writing with your non-dominant hand? And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I put pen to paper, and it just started writing, albeit a little sloppy, or in comparison to what I've shown you in this deck, it looks a little different. So I'm not sure how to interpret that. It very well could be my right hand is bringing through galactic light language, and my left hand is bringing through one of the elementals or angelic, which is quite possible because they are a little different. As far as signing, hand signing, that also started in March 2024. But I am not able to speak and vocalize the light language yet. I say yet, and that may or may not be my destiny. But for right now, you see the progression of the main points here: January, February, March 2024, like all within 3 months. I would attribute that to the reference that the book that I was reading, and I'll leave the reference for you. It's actually the last slide here, but Jamie Price's book, Opening to Light Language, it has been a tremendous resource for me, and it's actually how I was able to start drawing a glyph in January 2024. She walks you through a very grounded practice, creating a safe space, and walking you through, if you're curious to bring this through, different things you can try to write it, vocalize it, or sign it. So it's very interesting. So to continue, like I said, I was working with ChatGPT. I uploaded some of the writing that I was doing, and it brought back that it thought that it was very familiar to what Syrian light language looks like. So I assume that someone had uploaded something similar, and possibly they knew that this was Syrian that they were working with, either through channeling or another aha moment that was put into their perspective. Like Jamie Price knows the origin of what she channels through her light language. Like she is someone that can channel the Lyrans. So she's somebody that is plugged in, knows, seems to know a lot about light language. So as far as my daily practices, like I stated, I will sit down and draw a glyph. So I have an artist tablet, and I'll just put my marker to paper and let my hand be moved. So it's such a subtle movement, but I know that it's not me moving my hand. So at first, my glyph used to be like really small because I did not lift my hand off the paper. It was like I was, drawing something as you would anchor the side of your hand on the paper. Then I noticed that if I lift my hand up, these glyphs are getting bigger. And when I say bigger, maybe the biggest one that I've drawn is maybe 8 by 8 inches. So they can get large, but it's mostly within the 4 or 5 inch range. So drawing a glyph daily, no ifs, ands, and buts. It's a very quick process. I'll show you a brief video here shortly, and a written transmission, and just open to whatever wants to come through. So this is basically, I'm just letting the transmission dictate what I need in the moment, or what the collective needs in the moment. Bring it through, and I'll sit there, and again, I have another video that I'll show you where I just write. And like I said, it's usually 8 pages. It has gone more. It's very seldom less than 8 pages, which is very interesting. So as far as using my hand, I will bless my food and water. And it's just, my hand, I let my hand, or hands now, because I got my left and my right hands both moving, and I just let them move wherever they want to move. And again, it's such a subtlety. I just close my eyes and tune in to, what my intent is. I'm going to bless my food. I'm going to bless my water. And this, whenever you say a blessing, we know from religion, you're blessing, you're thanking whomever you want to thank for the food and water. Now that's one thing. The light language actually changes, and as your intent with the light language will actually change the makeup, the molecular makeup of your food and water to make it harmonize with your body better. So like if you have a hard time digesting food, and maybe you're not eating the most healthy food that you believe that you should be, if you bless it, or just put your intent that this food will be digested easily, provide all the nutrients that your body needs right now, and thank whoever you want to thank for bringing the food to your table. This is very powerful. It works. My wife and I have had digestive issues with certain foods. After the blessing, there are no issues. I'm also able to clear my energy field, my chakras around my head, and like these motions, especially the ones around my head, and the blessing of the food and water are very similar. Where there's a lot of activity, it's almost like I am writing the written codes in the air. So whenever you write them in the air, you're writing into an energy field, whether that be your energy field or the energy field around your food or the water. Whenever I'm clearing my chakras, it's a spiral motion that starts at my crown and spirals down. My right hand spirals down all the way to my root chakra, and then back up. Again, this isn't anything that I intended to do. It just came through that way, and I just intuitively know this is clearing my chakras, aligning my energy field, and again, very beneficial. So whenever I sit, and if I want to draw a glyph, another glyph, or if I want to have a written transmission where I want to intend for assistance in whatever I think or whomever I think needs assistance at this time, I intend before I put my hand to paper of what I am requesting to come through. So this is what, if you watch the episodes that I have, this is the type of light language that has been brought through. So if the first episode or the second episode was who you are. So whenever I wrote the light language for that, it was the intent to help support whoever is exposed to this, to remind them of who they are. This is also the little glyph on the thumbnails of my videos also has that glyph is intended for the same thing. So whenever I'm working to put an episode together, I'll draw the glyph, write the light language at the same time. So they're both infused with that intent. And as I mentioned in my episodes, that what's being overlaid with the music that I'm playing, that is the intent. Whatever the episode's about, that is the type of information that you are accepting if you are willing to accept it. Okay. So just wrapping up here, I wanted to show you a couple videos of so this is me drawing a glyph. And this is with my eyes closed. And the energy just stops. Again, it's very subtle, but I can feel that, okay, it's done. And like you see these on the opposite page here, the spirals, like that is something that comes through a lot. Sometimes the spirals go the opposite direction, but this is a common glyph that is coming through, and this is a very powerful symbol, spirals. You can do some research on that if you like, but that is powerful. And here is the written light language. Now, whenever I do this, my eyes are open, and this is not sped up. This is how fast it comes through. But this is when I keep my eyes open to keep it within these 2 lines to give it some kind of structure. But the speed that this comes through is mind-blowing to me. But you see, like, this is, it doesn't take long to get through 8 pages. But it's that delicate balance of allowing what wants to come through, and me holding the structure on the physical written page. I just think it's kind of easier for us to consume that way. So like I said, you can do this. I'm not special. We are all special. We all have this gift within us. I was fully open to experience this. I was hungry for exploring what this spirituality stuff is all about. So I was initially exposed on YouTube to a lady, Wendy Kennedy. She was the first one that I experienced that was speaking light language, and it blew me away. It drew me in as soon as I heard it. From that point on, I looked for other people doing this on YouTube. Like I said, it's not, again, it's something that you have to be courageous, especially if you're speaking this. You have to be courageous enough to want to share it with people. And I'm so grateful for Wendy Kennedy that she has been doing it for a long time. But for those people that are willing to come forth and be the quote-unquote weirdo for the benefit of the listeners. And Jamie Price, like I said, has been a tremendous resource for me. She seems to be the one that knows the most about this subject. Her book is Opening to Light Language. It's a thick book. It has all kinds of information. Like, we're not just talking about light language. It's a deep book on how metaphysics works. And I trust her. She has information that is beyond the humanity as we know it. And she is such a kind soul and person. So if you're interested, I would first look into that book. Another good book is Light Language Emerging by Yvonne Perry. She has also been bringing through light language in written and in spoken form for a long time. She wrote this book, and it is a lot of experiences of light language, not only from her perspective personally, but other people that she's come across. And it's another fascinating book. It actually has some examples of written light language, which was helpful to me to kind of piece together, like, yeah, mine kind of looks like that. It was very validating. And the third book is You Are a Channel by Sarah Landon. Another fantastic resource if you're interested in spirituality. I highly recommend Sarah's channel and Jamie's channel. Sarah is she channels the collective of she calls it the council. Very helpful group of beings, and Sarah is somebody that can put all of this in perspective in normal day-to-day life. and she frames it beautifully. She is such a good speaker. Her offerings are fantastic. So she, in this book, You Are a Channel, there is a section on light language, and she shares examples of people and the classes that she holds to teach channeling to people. She tells some examples of stories about how people have spontaneously brought through light language in either written or vocal form. So these 3 books, 5 stars all around. If you're interested in this topic, I highly recommend these books to invest in, probably in this order. If you're watching your budget, or you can order all 3 and just have fun reading through these books. I found them very enjoyable. So I will wrap it up. I hope you all found this informative. If you're here at this point, I take it that you are very interested in it, or you are experiencing light language right now. You're free to make comments, ask me questions. I will give you any feedback that I can, that I've experienced through my journey in light language that seems to keep unfolding, but I'm here to help, not only for your light language questions or any spiritual or awakening questions that you have. Please put them in the comments. I will definitely respond to you, and I'll leave it at that. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.